Hello everybody, my name is Wilbur and welcome to the so far untitled roundtable discussion video series that I've started literally today. This is sort of part 2 in a 2-part series about Sea of Thieves and the content and the future of the game. I'm here again with my friend Chris.
Hello.
And my friend Divine.
Hello there.
I don't know why I said it like that. My friend Divine?
Really had to push it out. I think he doesn't really like you that much.
Friend.
Jesus.
So in the last video, we talked about the upcoming seasonal progression systems. I felt like that we did that video ages ago. It's crazy.
Felt like a lifetime ago, man.
So this video, I want to talk to you guys about something we pretty much cry about. We cry salty tears about every single time we play, is the end game and what to do after max level and what we need to do after max level. So I'm going to start with Chris. This is going to just be the most open-ended question. What do you think Sea of Thieves needs to do for their end game to make it less crappy?
I think realistically, for starters, they need an end game. I think currently they don't really have an end game because you get to Pirate Legend, which at this point in time means absolutely nothing. Yeah. Pirate Legend means nothing, especially now with emissaries and how fast you can get there. I mean, that guys did it in what, 24 hours or whatever in that one session.
22 hours, fresh pirates.
Means nothing. Mind you, obviously the new player isn't going to have the experience to do it in 24 hours, but you know, 2 or 3 weeks isn't unheard of these days. So that, and then Athena again, it's nothing. It's cosmetics. It's just, you can do none of those things and it changes nothing. So I think they need, I'm not sure if I can even solve the problem at this point. They need to bring something into the game that actually makes that grind to get to there worthwhile and feel meaningful. Well, I don't know whether or not if it's like once you get to Pirate Legend, it opens up some super unique raid encounter that's a large group content thing that drops these god tier cosmetics that are the coolest fucking thing anyone's ever fucking seen to give those players something to do. Or if it's even like, I don't know how hard it is back end wise to, because I think I've heard a lot of talk about people want to change. Hey, there's Divine and I playing together. Corey wants to get on. We don't want to lose our progress. We want to brig up. You know what I mean? So something maybe where you could get to the Pirate Legends hideout and upgrade or downgrade your ship accordingly and come out on the other side, still in the same server, still with all your supplies, but just in the same, so you now another friend can play. Or hey, we're on a galleon and one of our friends are leaving. We don't want to leave, but we don't want to 3-man a galleon.
And that happens to us a lot. It's either we're playing as a 3-man brig and it's like, oh, one of us is leaving. Oh, we got all these supplies. I wish we could downgrade to a sloop. Or I'm watching you guys play and you're on a sloop. It's like, man, I wish I could just like join in. It'd be good just to upgrade to a brig.
Yeah, I think there's, at this point, there's no easy solution to their end game problem, because I think at the moment their end game just is non-existent.
Oh, the solution is to get good. So I should start off with I guess technically what the end game is you get to Pirate Legend where you max out 3 of the 5 or so reputations. It's very easy now. When we did it, back in my day, it sucked. It was a grind. So you max out 3 reputations, you get to Pirate Legend. You're like, cool, I'm at the end game. Then you open up the Athena reputation and all you're doing is the same stuff you've been doing this whole time. They give you all these different random voyages, whether they're, kill the skeletons, get their skull, merchant alliance stuff, digging up chests, and then you do 8 of the quests, and then at the end you dig up the Athena's chest, which is worth a lot of moolah, and that's why people want to steal it.
It really isn't though.
So it's like you you're grinding, you're playing, like, oh, I can't wait to get to Pirate Legend. You get to Pirate Legend, and you're like, wow, it's the same stuff. So, Divine, do you have an answer for Endgame? Do you have any ideas or thoughts on how it could be better?
An answer? Absolutely not. For a general, a thought I kind of just had now was maybe for the fact that, again, well, that's the other thing too, because the Athena voyages include merchant stuff that you have to do, like you have to go to this location, pick up this cargo. 90% of the time, I'm positive that people who do Athena voyages don't do anything with the cargo. They just drop it or they leave it. A couple people I've seen will actually keep it. I don't think they deliver it. I think they just pick it up because they think they have to.
Yeah.
But maybe what they should do, because considering nobody does actual merchant voyages, legitimately, well, I'm gonna take a guess and say 85% of the Sea of Thieves community does not touch merchant missions.
That's an accurate statistic. Everyone quote him.
It's
85%. Remember
check
that.
True.
So maybe if they're realizing that, hey, this person's maybe not doing any merchant missions, maybe we shouldn't give him merchant shit to do, because it's something that kind of, it's just a filler. Maybe they could also say, hey, if you're PL, you want to do an Athena voyage, well, tell you what, one of the three, I don't know, maybe one of the three that essentially you have to buy to keep available in inventory, maybe one of those has a 25% chance of being a gilded. Maybe they can throw something in there where there's a chance to get a gilded Athena by just buying it. You don't find out until you actually place it down. I don't know. Overall, they need an overhaul in terms of what Athena voyages are. 100%.
Agreed.
Yeah, because the only reason we suffered through them, which is quite a word, that's saying it softly, suffered through them, was just to get to that max Athena level. And it's just, I think it does need an update to Athena voyages. I think it needs content that you can only do as a Pirate Legend, which I think Chris touched on a bit before, where if you're Pirate Legend, you can do this awesome, whatever content they come up with, it has to be actually really good and really worthwhile. You guys can go do that content, while the plebs over there who aren't Pirate Legend, they can't touch it. I think that's definitely what this game needs. So with that in mind, Chris, I want you to come up with some bit of content.
That's way too much pressure. I think whatever it is, it has to be unique. You know what I mean? You've been doing something for 50 hours. You get to the Pirate Legend. It has to be unique. You've never done it before. It's not part of any other grind. And probably something that includes all aspects of combat. Or something, even if it's like a giant, like something like a Kraken, except not lame. But even then, I suppose it's similar to a Kraken. I got nothing.
Mega
really.
Kraken.
Like maybe it even could be, you get, do you know what I would love? There's that scene in Pirates of the Caribbean where they get sucked down the whirlpool.
Yep.
Yes.
So imagine something like that. You go somewhere and it's like a giant whirlpool that you get pulled down to. Maybe you're in like whatever that world is, the Ferry of the Damned is. Mm-hmm. And you need, probably, I would say, for it to be real unique, you probably need more than one crew to be able to beat it. There's so many other games that have world bosses. Things where you get to see large groups of people come together.
Do you reckon that would even happen in this game?
I think people could work together to defeat the boss.
Yeah. And then it'd be like, are you going to backstab me?
Depending how the reward system worked.
Yes, I am.
Would definitely depend. Like, if once the boss died and then all the loot a la Megalodon or Kraken just appeared in the water, shit would get nuts.
It would be the most hectic time.
I would think they would need to make sure that loot never despawns. It doesn't sink. So no matter how long you spend fighting the two other ships that are there, the last man standing gets the reward. And if you sink, and have it be maybe somewhere it's like an instance, so they can't come back. You get a one life. Your sink ships, you know that you're fucked. That's it. Sadly you lose. But I suppose that might be too hardcore for some people.
Or PvE players.
Considering you can't, because I suppose if you, however long that boss takes, if you spend an hour doing it, and then the other 2 crews are just better than you and they sink you, you get nothing. So I suppose maybe chances for cosmetics that drop for you only. I don't know, because that's what you need. You need to reward people for something so they don't feel like they've wasted their time. Maybe commendations for defeating bosses or defeating in certain time periods, so you can still potentially work towards something. And all the loot, because I'd mind you, at that point, you don't care. No one cares about the loot. You know what I mean? The loot could be game break 30 million worth of gold, but when you have 30 million of gold and nothing to spend it on, you know,
what's the point?
That's the point. I don't look. It's a very hard thing, and I don't see it being sorted out. I don't think there's any one solution that's going to magically make an end game activity be enjoyable for everybody. I don't think you can cater to everybody.
So you touched on something just then. I think we've talked about this before about maybe having item drops, like skin drops and stuff like that. Divine, do you reckon some sort of raid or event, or just even adding skin drops for, like, there'd have to be unique skin drops for Pirate Legend only kind of stuff. Do you reckon that'd be good enough to make you do an event?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, it probably depends on what it could be. Like Chris said, maybe like a skin drop as just an exclusive cosmetic for an event completion, or maybe even like a time bonus.
Yeah.
Like if you complete it within a certain amount of time, or maybe complete it within fitting like a certain spec sheet, I guess, more or less. Like maybe one of your maybe you limit the amount of times your crewmates dies or something like that, or the amount of damage you take. Tiny little things like that, with saying, hey, if you want to go ahead and do this event, you can get this skin exclusively to just completing that event. I think that'd be awesome. But I also don't have a ton of faith in that idea, only because of the lack of general cosmetics that we see that you can buy for gold. The way I see it is, if they're not making a ton of those and they're going to put, you know, the new ones every couple months on the Emporium specifically, then I don't see them making ones for specific events just to get as skin drops. I wish they really would. I think there should be more exclusive cosmetics in general, and not necessarily commendation locked, more or less. Like the Pirate Legend stuff in the hideout, for example. Like there's a Pirate Legend, what is it? The Spyglass. I think you need a merchant, like a grade 5 merchant commendation for that. Nobody wants to do that. Yes. Yeah. Nobody wants to do that. Yeah.
It's like 400 merchant voyage completions or something. It's something ridiculous.
Grade 5. Ew. Yeah, no. Sorry. No. If you're Pirate Legend, you should just be able to go ahead and buy those. I don't know why you need merchant missions to get a Spyglass. Maybe the pocket watch I can understand, but the Spyglass? That part doesn't make sense to me.
They kind of just give you more like time sink things instead of actual good things to do. Also, Chris mentioned while I was streaming one day to be able to change the color of certain outfits. Do you reckon do you reckon they could make that sort of like an outfit drop or an item drop in the game where they get different variations, like maybe common, uncommon, epic, legendary, where there's like the same kind of gear, but it's better in a way? I don't know how it would be better, but do you reckon that'd be something good? And you'd get like maybe like a shirt for one drop and then maybe a pair of shoes for another drop, but like maybe there's a few different sets. Chris, do you reckon that would work, like with color variations?
Oh, I think even ignoring completely new models, I think now that you've mentioned it, something that could really change everything could be just dyes in general. So hey, you complete the fucking...
You can dye your underwear.
You kill the hungering one, and as a rare drop, he drops this cool green, white dye. And then you can use that dye on any piece of clothing that you currently own. And you can dye... So, because one thing I've always found as well lately is that people wear the same fucking shit. You know what I mean?
Tuck outfit, hello.
There's never really... Exactly. There's not a lot of variation in the game that has a purely cosmetic based progression. But even if it costs like a gold sink, hey, you get these dyes, then it also costs, hey, that's a fucking rare shit dye, man. But you have it forever. Doesn't get used, but it costs 100,000 gold every time you want to dye a different piece of clothing. Yeah. So then this guy got his shrouded ghost dye, and he's spent 3 million gold dyeing his whole outfit in a sweet white red color frame or something. I don't know.
And then that guy is legitimate because he's got the shrouded ghost dye. And
he's got the dye. Not only has he found the shrouded ghost, he got the fucking dye. Or just something along those lines. It needs more prestige, I think, in any kind of cosmetics that you added. Because
I think that's a fairly. I'm not a developer, so I don't know what goes into doing stuff like that. But to me, that feels like an easy addition that could make things.
Well, I suppose it would probably come down to arc style, and they'd probably have to give each piece of cosmetic color regions.
Yeah.
And then dyeing color regions. I don't know how difficult that. Again, I have nothing to do with game development. But I think that something like that could be huge, because I would love, like Divine said, weapon skins, ship skins. Hey, you defeat the Ashen event in under 10 minutes, or whatever they deem impressive. You can get this sweet ass sword skin,
a flame sword.
A sword, yeah. Take the soul flame sword, except it's literally you have a hilt, and the whole sword is just fucking fire.
Jesus, that'd be good.
You know what I mean?
Give this man a job.
I feel like they've leaned so heavily towards making cosmetics for the Emporium that seem to be so high in detail compared to stuff they've added into the game.
Yeah, that's understandable as well, but at the same time, it's like, oh, come on, man, really?
Because I would definitely swing toward, man, dude, if they added a fucking flame sword, I would be like, let's go. There's an Ashen event, let's fucking do it. Let's go.
All in the Ashen event.
I want a fucking flame sword.
Like, they could do that with all the events. They could do a Flame Heart one where you get like a hilt with like a ghost sword.
Yeah.
Stuff like, oh man.
Or even, who knows, maybe a costume that actually makes you transparent, look like a ghost. Something, or give me a fucking ship set that makes me look like a ghost ship.
You know what they should do? The glitch,
around the ghost ship.
The glitch skeleton outfit. You turn into a green skeleton.
There you go.
Give us all jobs. So I'm gonna rant on a little bit here because I have just a specific idea for like an end game raid that I wanna get there recorded. I've talked about for a while. So my idea for an end game raid. So you get to Pirate Legend. Only Pirate Legends can do this. So you can either do this. So this will add into an idea Chris had where there should be like a hub world or a hub island where you can go there, team up with people. I think there are a lot of players out there that might not have any friends to play with. And the only thing I can give them is the Discord, which is hit or miss. It'd be cool to have a hub island where all these pirates are running around and you could be like, hey, this guy looks cool or whatever, or be like, hey, looking for 2 dudes to team up with to do this kind of thing. I think that'd be pretty cool, especially there are a lot of solo pirates out there. So you can either do it from a hub world, you could do it from the start screen, or maybe you could go into, I don't know, the pirate hideout or whatever. So this is going to be a 6-man raid. So you can team up with you and 5 of your friends.
Yes, Daddy.
You're on a big old giant man-o'-war. It's the biggest ship in the game. It's not an adventure. It's just for this one raid. There's like 6 cannons on each side or whatever. You need 2 people to drive it. I don't know how the man-o'-war works. And you're going, there's like a few little, this is like a whole separate from the adventure. This is like an arena. So it's like a whole new thing. And there's a few islands and you have to, I don't know, get a map, go find some treasure or some clues to this particular event, but you don't know where it's actually going to be without these clues. You might have some mini bosses on these islands where you fight like, you know, melee guns and all that. So you have sort of the pirate to pirate sort of combat. This is all purely co-op stuff, purely PvE. You get all the clues, you get back on your man o' war, you get to an area where it's leading you to a big, like, monster giant creature, a Cthulhu or something, or a friggin' Godzilla, just rises out of the ocean. And you and your 6-man man o' war crew have to try and bring it down with your ship. It's gonna be hard, it's gonna be difficult, but it's gonna be doable. It's not gonna be like something where you're like only the elite players can do it. It's gonna be something where, you know, you might have a hard time, but it's doable. And you defeat this monster. It drops some like sweet, like an item set, like one part of an item set. And then you have to do it a second time to get the next part. That's what I would love to see. A raid-like thing where it's sort of away from adventure, where you can have more than 4 people. It's a brand new ship to sail. You get exclusive skins, a new monster out of nowhere. Oh, I think that'll just be pretty cool. And like sort of maybe like some caves here and there, so going through some caves like in a Tall Tale. Oh, man, that's what I would personally love. Let us know down in the comments what you guys would like in the end game. But I'm gonna touch on this Falcor video we were talking about in the last video. And Falcor is a prominent Sea of Thieves content creator that doesn't seem to jerk people around. He kind of, you know, is pretty grounded. He doesn't say too many things to make you not believe him. And this one video he brought out was telling us about the future of Sea of Thieves and the upcoming content that they're going to be doing next year, and the fact that the Sea of Thieves partners get told or get an idea of what's coming before any of us plebs, our normies, get told. So from what he's saying, he knows what's coming. He's not allowed to talk about it. All he's allowed to say is, Divine, what did he say?
He said that he was super excited. There was actually a lot in that video.
Yes.
But he had a couple different really good ideas in terms of, I think one that was earlier this month was basically like, what if each update or basically like, what if the land was terraformed in different ways each update?
Yeah.
So like, what if, you know, like maybe the roar froze over or something like that. Maybe just the general environment change. I think that'd be really cool. But he was saying a lot of stuff in terms of what they're planning for next year. And I think he may have been talking about a little bit regarding the actual season pass, because he put that video out a couple days before they made their official announcement or their battle pass, etc. Maybe he was just saying that and they, you know, wanted to include that video. Well, they were going to include the video a couple days later anyway, but maybe he's just saying in general that they're going to do a lot of different things that we're not even expecting, which I think is very likely because, again, we know how critical he is, and how deep into the lore he's actually tried to explore to figure out, you know, who Flameheart is, etc., who, you know, if Crook's Hollow is haunted, stuff like that. But he talks a lot about the future of the game. He gives it a lot of shit as well. So I'm confident. I'm hoping he's not going to let us down, though.
Yeah, because in the video, he basically told us nothing, and he got very excited. Like the thing he was talking about, it sounded like a specific thing was coming, and then he was getting very excited. And then there was the riddle at the end, which kind of makes no sense to me or anyone else. But Chris, for as you said, a video about nothing, you're kind of hyped, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I suppose.
Well, you were.
It's one of those double-edged sword kind of things, because he is a content creator. He's the sole Sea of Thieves content creator. So I'd like to think he wouldn't blow smoke out of his ass for nothing, because he also seems like he really enjoys the game. So, and you get kind of hear his excitement in his voice,
yeah,
which I think was just kind of infectious. You know what I mean? A guy who plays Sea of Thieves so much to be excited about what he's been told is coming. I think I was just excited. And I suppose they hit that whole riddle at the end of it, which I can't remember off the top of my head. It sounded very cryptic enough where it could hint to anything. You know what I mean? I suppose because this game is a sandbox game, and the possibilities for what they could bring, I think that's the exciting part. You know what I mean? I think the foundation of this game is there. It's pretty solid. Hit reg issues aside, the base foundation of this game is great. I really enjoy it. It's nice to sail around in. So I think the possibilities that he potentially was mentioning, it's just exciting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely got pretty excited. And as I said, anything I hear about this game or upcoming updates or content, I'm always cautiously optimistic because I want this game to thrive. I want it to have some good stuff. And I think it's just because the end of this year, the content hasn't been super great, where it sort of hasn't kept me playing like every stream or every game, where I've sort of like, oh, I kind of feel like playing this other game now. So I'm hoping, seasons, new voyages, progressions, some end game stuff, hopefully some cool loot. Hopefully Sea of Thieves can be thriving. I mean, they got more than how many players? 15 million players.
15 million players.
15 million people getting trash talked by Flameheart. So it doesn't seem to be slowing down, but hopefully they can use this momentum and move forward, give us some great content. But that's probably going to be it for this episode of whatever this thing's going to be called.
Well, hang on.
Yes.
But just one other thing. The thing that I hope is that they focus content a bit more on seasoned players, because I think the last couple of months with the vaults and even this merchant voyage and semi-reused content isn't for the season. It's for the new players. That's content. Like, I'm not going to grind 100 vaults for fucking sales. You know what I mean? I'm not. It's just not going to happen. But I mean, if you're leveling up your gold hoarders, that's probably the best way to do it, and you might get those sales. So I'm hoping, which I think also leads into the Falcor being excited, because I don't see Falcor getting excited about new merchant voyages.
No.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? So hopefully, I don't necessarily see them ever doing something like Corey suggested, as much as I would fucking love a 6-man raid. This game needs that kind of content, I think. I don't see it happening at all, sadly. But just something unique for the seasoned players to really, as a new experience, you know what I mean? That's what we need for next year.
100%. Divine, do you agree with that?
100%. Yeah. I don't think I see the raid happening either.
Oh, you guys just making me upset over here.
I know, dude. It hurts me.
I do see the ship hub potentially happening, or like the general hub happening.
That was Chris's idea, yeah.
Right, because part of the problem is that, I think part of the problem is including obviously hardware support, because there can only be so many ships on one server. I legitimately think they just need one hideout. It can be like an island or wherever, where you can hang out with your buddies. You can all connect to the same type of server. You can all check out ship cosmetics. You can all check out weapon cosmetics without having to actually hop in adventure and fill up that ship slot that could otherwise be used. I don't know why they don't just do it. Even if it costs some gold, they need a new gold sink anyway. So let me spend like 2 million on my own little like private hideout where you guys can hop in and we can all take a look at galleon, brig, sloop, ship cosmetics. Maybe there's like a firing range, like a moving target thing. I don't know. That would be a little complicated, I think, for them to do, and I don't know if they do it or not. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. And I do have that poem that Falcor put up, by the way.
Oh,
read it out to me in his accent too.
I'm not doing the accent. No. With lands abound on the seas we do find, with our steel drawn and foes on our mind. The sun does set on the horizon in day, but boundless adventures will be on our way. With vast open waters and secrets below, a shroud that is alive see ahead and flow. The horizon is vast and will continue to expand and fruition will show this was never our land.
Oh, yeah, see, hearing that again makes me excited again.
It's exciting.
See?
Whoever wrote that did a good job.
Oh, man, yeah. It's got to be some merfolk thing where I get to murder a whole bunch of merfolk.
Yeah, I never thought about merfolk because we see them in the trailer, but we literally never see them. Well, that's because mermaids just dick us over.
That's that's why I'm gonna murder their whole species because they keep dicking me around.
But I don't know. That's interesting. That almost kind of gives me like the shroud is alive, or a shroud that is alive, so you had and flow. That kind of gives me almost like a Sea of the Damned vibe.
I also thought when I heard that it could be potentially cool if they added a new island that was really only accessible at certain times of the day. Like the shroud would come in, and you couldn't get to the island, but then the shroud would, go back out or open up, and then you could get into the island. And it was only like time limited. You're like, shit, we got to get this and do this really quickly before the shroud closes in, and then you're trapped there or you die or whatever.
Oh, that'd be cool. Oh man, so many possibilities. We'll definitely have to come back to this video whenever something big happens. We'll be like, oh man, we were way off. It's actually just more Grey Marrow voyages.
I swear to God.
Well, they even talk about what? So it says they're going to find out that this was never our land. I would love, because there's so much talk in the Sea of Thieves lore about what they're called the Ancients.
The Ancients,
yes.
yeah.
Basically, whoever left all this shit behind.
Yeah.
I would love. Skeletons get old. You know what I mean? Give us, if they're going to say, hey, this is not, we're going to figure out this is not our land. Maybe the Ancients come back.
Ooh.
Shit gets, and they're like, another battle, they're trying to retake the Sea of Thieves.
Shit.
That's cool.
And that would be something Falcor would get very excited about. So.
He's a lore nerd, so that's
damn, that would be, come on, Sea of Thieves.
Yes.
Chris just wants more Grey Marrow. The rest of us want this awesome, cool stuff.
I want to kill Grey Marrow another 5 or 10 more times in different voyages, please. Give me more Grey Marrow. It's
like, here's the new Athena run. Every voyage is a Grey Marrow voyage.
No.
But we're gonna end it there before we get too salty about Grey Marrow. Thank you, Chris and Divine, for joining me today. Both of their socials will be in the description below. My socials will also be in the description below. Come check us out on Twitch. Come say hello, play Sea of Thieves. Come tell us how trash we are or how awesome we are. Either way, we'll have some fun. But hopefully you guys like this kind of video. Planning on doing more. I think the next time we're gonna get together will probably be at the end of the Mandalorian series. So that's definitely gonna be a 5-parter or something. I don't know. It's gonna be a long one. So strap yourself in. But thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.